Hi guys, good morning and good evening. So yet another session now I'm going to take is on how you can take your first step towards cloud mastery. So we at Deckensoft are going to definitely support you as your trusted navigator. We'll give you all the kind of guidance which is needed to achieve the milestone of AZ900 Azure certification. So in this particular session I'm going to elaborate on all the tips and tricks which you're supposed to have when you want to clear this particular certification exam. Though it is a very basic and fundamental one, it's definitely a starting point for many of you in your career, or probably you are changing your career, and this could be a very good starting point. So, yes, the first thing which I would like to discuss about is 2024. What's the buzzword? See, cloud has been there. Cloud computing has been there for almost a decade now and probably more. But what is the buzzword today? AI, artificial intelligence. You have been hearing about the words like machine learning, data science, and all this we can say are subset under the AI, artificial intelligence, which is becoming very big replacement for humans. Probably that's wrong, is it not? So, is AI going to replace human beings? Definitely not. AI is going to become a assistant, which Microsoft has used a very nice word called as Copilot. There are a lot of AI tools which are delivered through Copilot by Microsoft in multiple products. We have got Copilot for Microsoft 365. We have got Copilot Studio. We have got Copilot for Power Platform, Copilot. Almost name a product of Microsoft. Now they are providing Copilot, and the way the Copilots are going to work is going to give you assistance in completing the job faster. So, yes, human beings are going to become more productive because of the technology, much more productive than what they were in the recent times when compared to the way in the world 20 years back we used to do. Now it is going to be a drastic enhancement in the productivity of a person. See, were replaced by computers. Now computers have become more and more powerful. And now with artificial intelligence, to a large extent, computers will do the job of thinker along with just doer. They will start thinking like human being, but they will never replace human being. They will assist human being. So that's another debate where I don't agree that AI is going to replace human jobs. No, AI is going to make humans more productive. Everybody is Einstein now. The kind of memory Einstein has, we all now have that same memory today. But to make AI work, we need huge amount of computing power. We need huge amount of resources. And how can we get these resources? Yes, cloud is one of the major reason why AI is becoming popular today. Remove cloud, AI will be baseless and will fall off. So cloud is what on which AI is standing upon. AI needs the kind of infrastructure, the services which AI needs in the background for facilitating tasks is going to be enormous. Huge amount of computing power, and as the load increases, the computing power requirement is going to be huge. The storage, the data requirement is going to be huge, and all that is supported by the cloud technologies which we have today. Let it be Microsoft Azure cloud, or let it be AWS cloud, or let it be Google GCP cloud, or maybe Alibaba cloud in China, or IBM cloud, and so many other clouds providers. They are going to provide the services of cloud to the different types of consumers. The different type of roles one can take in consuming the cloud facilities or cloud services. So yes, cloud is definitely going to become a foundation for whatever you want to do in future. You want to host your applications which you have developed, yes, cloud will be a solution. You want to use the AI services through those applications, cloud will be, I mean, for everything cloud is going to become a foundation. Cloud is going to be a fundamental thing. So there is no escape for anybody from cloud computing. So yes, what to know before you start your before you kickstart your journey in the cloud. What is that you should know? So we are not going to focus on AI stuff today. Yeah, in one of the other sessions I may talk about AI, but at this point of time, what is that you should know to kickstart your journey in cloud computing, to be precise, cloud. But before I get started, just to keep you hold hold tight, we are having some special giveaways. Content worth of 4,000, which will help you for the certification exam, is going to be essentially provided free of cost to two lucky winners who are going to stay till end of the session. I would request you to use the URL which my colleagues have shared on the chat so that you can fill up a form and start participating in this particular lucky lucky dip. So let's see if you are one of the lucky winners in this particular webinar. The condition is very simple. At the end of this particular webinar, I'm going to choose the lucky winners, and you are supposed to be present there at that time when I'm choosing the lucky winners. I'm only going to choose two among those who have filled up the form and are going to be there in the session till end, or sometime in between. I may do it random. You have to listen to the entire session. That's the carrot being given to you for listening to the entire session. Of course, it's going to definitely benefit you, but sometimes the mother has to give a son mobile so that he can eat. Though the son wants to eat for his own health, the mother gives the mobile or some kind of toy. So that's the toy. This lucky dip is a toy to you to remain motivated to attend the session so that it can definitely contribute you. So firstly, what is cloud computing? Yeah, I don't want to get into AZ900, but what is cloud computing? See, computing basically means execution. execution of applications, and storage of data. These two things, in most of the times, have been present on our local machine. We use hard disk where we can store our files, which is nothing but data, and we use power of memory and processor where the programs are going to execute. So now in cloud computing, the world of cloud computing is all about moving the applications from our on premise to a remote data center. Instead of using the computing power of our local machine, we are now going to use the storage and the compute power of a remotely hosted machine. And most of the time, these remotely hosted machines are provided as a service. Provided as a service, definitely there has to be a service provider. Like in case of Azure, Microsoft is the service provider. In case of AWS, Amazon is the service provider. In case of GCP, Google is the service provider. So, like that, there are different service providers who facilitate the infrastructure, who facilitate some built in services on top of which we are going to build our applications and deploy these applications in cloud. So, what one used to do in their on premise data centers, like if I'm an organization, I would use my own data centers in my own premises. Now, I would probably shift from on premise data center to the data centers managed by the cloud service providers. So, the maintenance of land, space, electricity, backup, human resource for administration, all these things are now being delegated to the service providers. And service providers, because they facilitate the same service to multiple consumers, definitely they become comparatively cheaper for an organization. For an organization like me, cloud service providers will come up with a comparatively cheaper solution and ease of work. In simple explanation, if I give you, see, maybe in early 90s or late 90s also, more than 20 years back, if I had to have a server hosted, for certain organizations it took even more than 6 months from the time a requirement is raised to the time the server is provisioned and made available to the consumers. Might have taken 6 months. Just imagine. That was the world of physical hardware being provisioned in our data center. Everything was physical. Then came the world of virtualization. We started creating virtual environments. So we were able to create virtual machines through the huge amount of compute resources which is made available in our data center. We would simply create virtual machines, and that would take few hours. Based on the requirement, we would just add the hardware, and on top of the hardware we would create the virtual machines, and that would probably take few hours. But today, if I want to have a virtual machine created, it wouldn't take more than a minute or two, or maybe 3 minutes. With few clicks of the buttons here and there, or some automation script, we are able to create the virtual machines. And in what numbers? You might create one virtual machine, you might create 1,000 virtual machines, and it would hardly take any time. And the beauty is what? We only pay for what we use. We need the compute resources, we provision it, we consume it, and when we don't need it, deprovision it, destroy it. So there are various reasons why the world is now moving towards cloud computing, using the infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service, IaaS, IaaS, PaaS, SaaS. Three service models which are broadly supported by cloud computing. And all these three are facilitated by Azure, AWS, GCP, and so many other cloud service providers. So, cloud computing is going to become the base upon which everything is going to happen. This is the first and most important point which everyone will have to understand here. So, there is no exception. Everyone will have to somehow, today or tomorrow, acquire cloud computing. That is the point. Every organization, even if it is existing for years and decades, they have to get into cloud computing. If you are a startup, you have no choice but to start using cloud computing platforms like Azure, AWS, or GCP based on your choice and based on your preferences. So, who should be learning cloud computing? Actually, there should be a simple answer to this. The most simplest answer is every IT professional. You are a software developer building applications. You have to learn cloud computing to understand the power of cloud, the built in services which are going to help you build enterprise applications. You are a database administrator. Now, databases are going to be provisioned in cloud in no time. And a lot of work which the database administrators used to do will be facilitated as built in features in the cloud hosted databases. You are a network engineer, you are a virtual machine uh, administrator, every kind of administrator role. Yes, you have to start doing things in cloud. You build mobile applications, your most of the services would stay in the cloud. Your notification service would be in the cloud. Your APIs which are on the server will be in the cloud. Any kind of role you are going to have in the industry, whether it is IT professional role or a software engineer role or a bridge, something like a DevOps engineer role, compulsory you are supposed to have knowledge of cloud computing. Gone are the days where you would just say that I am very good at database administrator, so let me continue administrating database, or I am very good at management of storage, so let me take care of the storage requirements of the organization now. No, you have to do database administration to the required extent. You have to do the storage administration. You have to be security specialist. You have to have multiple features knowledge if you want to stay in the industry. And all this reason is cloud has made it simple. So we don't want somebody dedicated for doing a very simple job. For that matter, even if you are a organization monitoring agent, I mean, if you are a person who continuously keep monitoring, cloud is going to give you built-in dashboards through which you can monitor the entire infrastructure and the different metrics and logs of various services. So whether it your monitoring role, administrator role, developer role, architect role, whatever role you have to learn cloud computing. Now this is technical. What about non-technical? I am a vice president of an organization. I am a business analyst. I am only responsible for communicating with the customers, understanding the requirement. Do I need to know cloud computing? Yes, you should be. See, if you are associated with IT, your applications are going to be hosted on cloud, or they are already hosted on cloud and you are probably late. So there is no escape, irrespective of your role, whether you are a CEO of the organization, or you are a vice president of the organization, or you are a director, or let us say you are a manager, people manager, not even the techno manager. Irrespective of whether you are a technology specialist or a non technology specialist, basic knowledge of cloud computing is mandatory for all. Have this clarity with utmost, I mean, this should be very clear. Should you learn cloud computing? Yes, you should. I'm a fresher, definitely you should. So, how do I get started? The best thing to get started, at least in the world of Microsoft, would be you do AZ900, Azure Fundamentals. Microsoft has curated a program called as Azure Fundamentals with all the topics which will give you a very high level overview of what is cloud computing and what are the different types of services we have in cloud computing. Yes, they don't go deep into the topic. They don't expect you to do the job. They expect you to know that it's possible. Very clearly, I'm explaining. AZ900 is all about you knowing that these are possible things. It's not about you doing these things hands on. Yeah, you can probably create a virtual machine. You can start a virtual machine. You can stop a virtual machine. AZ900 doesn't expect you to go deeper and make a decision like what should be the IOPS of the virtual machine, how much should be the throughput, what should be the sizes of the virtual machine for different size of scenarios, when to take the backup, how to configure the backup. No, that is not in the purview of AZ900 Azure fundamental syllabus. You are again expected to have a top level overview of what is Azure. Now that makes things easy and tough. You don't need to go deeper into any topic, but you need to spread on multiple topics. You need to have knowledge of administration, in the sense you are taking care of the infrastructure services, you are taking care of the PaaS services, you are taking care of the security, you are taking care of the governance. All these things you should have knowledge of. Basically, the syllabus ensures that you touch and go on all the aspects of Azure. That's what is the beauty of AZ900 course, which leads to AZ900 certification. Now, AZ900 certification is very important for multiple reasons. One, if you are a fresher, this is one of the ways you can claim that you are one step ahead of your other classmates or your other friends. You have taken this one extra initiative. I know multiple organizations which, when they want to hire and they start looking at resume and they see what is special in the resume and is there in their resume, I would give importance to it because that person has taken an initiative to do something different than the rest of the world. AZ900 certification is also good for those who want to probably switch to switch to Azure, because that gives you confidence that you are supposed to have good knowledge of, I mean, you are going in the right direction. You are able to crack the certification exam. A lot of people call me for career counseling. They say we have so many years of gap. We are from non-technical background, but we want to get into IT. See, IT is one domain which says yes or welcome to everyone. IT doesn't reject anyone. IT always welcomes to anyone. So when IT is welcoming to everyone, on what basis can somebody get a start? You have to be different. You cannot be a mundane routine person. You have to be different. You have to be different than what others are doing. So yes, AZ900 certification, which is one of the simplest certification, whether you are going to acquire a technical role. I know there are vice presidents of the company who have written AZ900 certification so that they can communicate with the customer and give them confidence that yes, they are also the technology savvy, not just organizational management things. Technology also they take care of. So again, I repeat this point. Everybody should have knowledge of Azure from the fundamental aspect, and everybody as a milestone should have cleared AZ900 certification exam. That's your starting point. Now, after AZ900, what? Maybe I'll come in the 900. So, how do you prepare for AZ900? Coming to the main, all of you can do is go through the guide. Microsoft has given Azure certification guide, and you can all start with this first. So let me take you through the certification guide. Just a minute, it's taking time for me to open the slide. So Microsoft of you to copy these URLs and put it in some notepad and preserve them. I mean, use them for references later. This is the study guide for AZ900. Just go through this entire document first. Invest around maybe 10 minutes or 15 minutes on this article. Important part here is this one. What is your audience profile supposed to be? You are a technology professional who wants to demonstrate foundational knowledge of cloud concept. Is common starting point in a journey towards career in Azure. It talks about computing, networking, and storage services. Three important aspects: infrastructure management, database management, or software development. And these are the objectives. Describe concepts, describe cloud computing and subtopics. Just go through it, just have a glance through all the topic. This is like reading the index of a book. You should know well in advance where are you going. All these terms you might want to probably just get familiar with. So this is supposed to be your first document which you are supposed to read. We call it as the study guide for AZ900 certification. You have got 25 to 30% marks reserved for described cloud concept. Now this is not accurate. It's in the range of 20. That means out of the number of questions, the total marks which is allocated can lead to this much percentage for this topic. So majorly there are only three topics: describing cloud concepts, Azure architecture and services, and the management and governance. And you can see architecture and services has highest weightage when compared to the other two. Of course, it should not really bother you whether this is less or more. You are supposed to have evenly spread knowledge on all the topics. So this is going to be your first target. Read the second thing which we advise for all of you is go through the official training material which I have prepared. Now you can either go to bestitcourses.com, our domain name, and look at AZ900 course and subscribe to the same. Right? You can subscribe to this particular course. There are 3 modules and all subtopics with lot of examples. I have demonstrated them. In real time, you can say the content is delivered. I'm pretty sure you'll have lot of fun. For every topic, we have provided you with the required material. And also you can see AZ. Do these labs. Once you log in, you will be able to perform step by step all the operations on the Azure portal. Definitely, you would need Azure portal access for you to practice these things. If you don't want to buy this particular course because this is costly, this is little expensive, though it is at a 50% discount, at a 20% discount for the time being. This temporary offer, it will go away very soon. If you're looking at our content, this is the cost. Alternatively, what you can do is go to youtube.com. You can use this content entirely free. All the videos can be watched entirely free. Just type here AZ900 and you'll be seeing that almost first or second is my content. We have here 6 hours of content, almost 6 hours of video. Right? I would request you to complete this entire training of 6 hours. This is most important and most interesting. Once you are done with this, those who don't have time, or even if you have knowledge of cloud computing, I would suggest watch this entire video. Maybe you want to watch it at a speed 1.x, software development 1.5, 1.6, just speed so that you can save time. But don't skip. If you are planning to make a career in Azure, definitely this is going to be a very good starting point for all of you. Just change it from normal speed to maybe 1.5 or 1.75 and finish the entire video. Listen to hopefully the demos which I have provided during the training. Lot of practical demonstration I have done here. So all that you should see. Remember, so for us to understand the service properly, we should be able to do certain action. Course, what you have hosted here on our website, same thing is also on the YouTube. YouTube, of course, it is absolutely free, but you don't get the material. On our website, You have access to the courseware, you have access to the lab material. That is the extra benefit which we give to you here. And of course, you also get support for any kind of questions which you may have when you're subscribing to this particular course. That is the major advantage. But yes, it comes at little extra cost. So that you have to take care of. So this is going to be your second step. Watch the entire course of around 6 hours created by me, and I would not be shying away from saying it's the best course you will find on internet for AZ900 in a very simple, easy to understand language, closest to what anybody would want to do is what I have delivered this content. So please go ahead and complete this 6 hours of session, maybe in 1 day or 2 days or 3 days, based on your speed and based on your past experience with the Azure. You might do it completely. Good. Now, next what? Next, you have to join. To just build up the confidence further, I would recommend you to go through the Microsoft Learn official courseware. So, this I'll give it again in the chat. Let me put this. This is Microsoft official courseware. It's pure lot of, first watch the video, then read this content. 3 modules, all the topics, just need to read it. Have a glance through it. All the topics, you finish it off. And every module has a simple knowledge check, which you may want to do here. So this will be your next target. So yes, first is what? Go through the study guide. Second, watch the videos. 3, complete the learn material, Microsoft Learn material. URL I've shared in the chat. 4th, very important, to just boost your confidence, go to our portal, azure-a2z.com. You can just go to azure-a2z.com. It's our in-house developed portal. You have exam dumps. You can go to mock exams. And in mock exams, search for, there are 2, AZ900 learning path. You can go through this as you're studying, module by module. When you complete your course on the videos, you can go here and take the exam. Or you can go through the entire dump set. This one. Yes, it has 60, 120, 60, multiple questions bank here. You may want to go through this entire kit. Lot of questions. This is not free service. It's a paid service, and it comes as a part of that package on our website. When you're buying this course on our website, you do get automatic access to that content also. This content also you can request for from the team, and they'll give you access. The same login which works for this website would also work for this, and you will get access to this entire courseware. Third, now the next thing we have to take care of is the entire question bank. You should go through maybe a couple of times. Then Microsoft has given a practice test. If in case you don't want to buy that, you can still go for an alternative. Microsoft has officially released a practice test. You can go through this link. I'll put this link again in the chat. There are 50 questions which you can answer to just know what is your subject knowledge. Which 2 factors affect cost? Just randomly click something. Resource location, resource usage, and check your answer with the explanation they give you. So like this entire list you can go through. All 50 questions you might want to go through. But if you have completed this, I think you should be confident enough to clear the exam. This is extra material. not necessary you are going to get questions from here. Rather, you'll not get questions which are already here, but you will get at least 70 to 80 or maybe 90% of the questions will be from this section, which is hosted on Azure A to Z, because these are dumps from the previously attempted candidates. These are dumps. And is it wrong to read dumps? No. It's as good as using guides before we go for the exam. And this gives you direction on how to prepare for the content. That is most important thing. So I, at least, there are a lot of debate on this. Should we use dumps? Should we not use dumps? I at least feel somebody who is a beginner, somebody who has little low confidence, should definitely not avoid using dumps, because reaching the milestone first is important, and then you can always go deeper into the subject and build your skills. Even if you read dumps, there is no guarantee that you will still pass. You should have good understanding of the subject, and that is the reason I'm asking you to go through this learn material and through these videos. That is what is important. And then the next thing you can do is take the exam and book it. You can go to Google, just type AZ900, that's all, and look at the first Microsoft Learn link, and you'll have here take exam button, schedule exam. If you are in United States, the cost is 99 USD. If you are in India, the cost is 3696 plus GST. If you are in India, you'll have to add 18% GST on top of it. And if you are in United States and many other developed countries, it's little expensive, almost double the cost. Now, here is the trick. If you are from India, having an India ID card, I would suggest you connect with our team and take details on how you can get the voucher for just rupees 3,500 all inclusive to write the Azure certification exam. I repeat, you should have a India ID card. You might be a resident of US right now, but you are having an Indian ID card and you want to go through a proctored exam online. You can avail this voucher which we provide, because we are Microsoft partners, we are able to, but we can only give you vouchers for India. So you can write that exam in case you are interested, being in India with India ID card. More details, please connect with my team. They'll give you information on how to proceed further. So yes, book your exam. Just go here. You need a Microsoft ID. So all those details you'll have to provide and submit and continue. So Pearson VUE is what is the best option if you are not from a college. But if you are a student of a registered organization or a registered school, you might write much more cheaper by clicking here. There are certain corporates which gives the vouchers free of cost. Check if you are working in some corporate by completing this form in the next window. If there is a discount which is provided to you through your corporate, the tie-up which they have with Microsoft can lead to certain free certification vouchers. If you're a corporate employee, just take a chance and go next. You'll need to log in after this into Pearson Preview website using a Microsoft ID, which can be your Hotmail ID, Outlook ID, Skype ID, MSN ID, some Microsoft ID. Even it can be a Gmail ID registered as Microsoft ID. So if you are buying a voucher from us, here you are supposed to choose India and then proceed further. So yes, it's a 45 minutes exam. Now, how is the exam pattern going to be? Now, for that, there is a facility which Microsoft has given. You can go to Microsoft Learn page. AZ900, and here you have a launch the sandbox. When you launch the sandbox, you will get here the kind of questions which can come in the exam. So this is the agreement. Just say I agree. Take different questions, right? Don't go by all these things. That's fine. It's a dummy thing. Just say next, next, and it gets you started. So it's a multiple choice question. I'm not reading the question. You're supposed to read and write. It's a dummy thing. Don't worry. If you want to come back and review your question, put a check mark here. So if you're not very sure about the answer, you may want to put a check mark here. But my suggestion is don't leave any question unchecked before you go to the next. Either choose the best choice or work by rule of elimination. Sometimes you will see that multiple answers are correct. First, eliminate what is incorrect, and then between what is left, choose the best. Select something, put a review later, and then go on. So if you have time at the end, you can come back. So you have single selection, you have multi selection, you have sometimes drag and drop. Like this, you may have to drag and drop all this. You may have filling the blanks sometimes. This is arranged in the proper order. You may not get these many complex questions in AZ900. Trust me. This is a sandbox for all the role-based certifications also. In AZ900, mostly you will get multiple choice questions and multiple answers. That means checkboxes or radio button. One of these two only you are going to get. You will not get so many options like this, where you have to select like this. No, it's not that complicated. So you might get this kind of questions also in AZ900, where you have to simply select based on the scenario. You have to select some option. That's it. So these are possible types of questions which you can get. And I would suggest, yes, go through the AZ900 learn page, scroll down, and here you find the link. No, here you find the link. Launch the sandbox. So a lot of information on this page. Microsoft Learn. You may want to read this entire stuff and prepare yourself. So these are the things. Again, I repeat in summary. First, start with watching a video course. Can be on our bestitcourses.com or can be on YouTube. That's your choice. After you are done with this, go through the question bank, the Microsoft Learn docs. Go through the Microsoft Learn docs. 3. Go through the dumps on Azure A to Z. 4. Take the practice test. On Azure A to Z also, you take the practice test. But a bigger set of questions, superset. A small set you can also find on Microsoft website. And then book your exam and prepare yourself. I don't think it should take more than a week's time for anyone to crack it. It's just that you are a decision away. I would say book your exam, start your journey, plan your days properly, and clear it off. Achieve the first milestone ASAP. That's what is my suggestion to you all. So that's the point. Now it comes down to, will this certification fetch you a job? And the answer is big no. Wow. No. Yes, no. You're not going to get a job because you are just AZ900 certified. You are only going to have an entry point. You have entered into the door of cloud computing world. Just because you have entered into the door of cloud computing world, it does not mean somebody will put a red carpet for you and invite you to a job. No. There is a long journey which you have to go through after this. You have to probably take something like a role-based certification, which can be Azure Administration, AZ104. Or if you are a developer, you might go for AZ204, Azure Developer. Or if you are a security specialist, AZ500. So there are multiple role-based certifications which one will have to go through after this, and only when you clear roles-based certification, you are a cloud specialist. AZ900 is just a single star certificate. It's not a 2-star certificate. It's just a keeping the long story short, as I committed to you, we are going to reward two participants with the giveaway absolutely free of cost. But there is a surprise for others too. Just hold on. So let me take you to this website. I see how many participants have entered. I see 27. In the session, I see overall 30. I'll give you 30 seconds more to chat and start participating. So I'm going to randomize this. I'm assuming that, just to be transparent with you, everything is going to be done online now itself. I'm randomizing this entire stuff. I'll wait for a few minutes more for all of you to enter your name here. You can participate in the lucky draw. That's it. I see only 28. Let me refresh. Yeah. Though I see more number in the chat now, around 40, but looks like only 28. I'll wait for a few more seconds. I hope the team has entered the URL on the chat. Random number. So we'll use this random number generator and generate the random number. So I see now 30. 30 are in. Okay, so among these 30 participants, who are the lucky ones? Right, so these are random numbers. And I'll use that for sorting. Randomized, and now sort it on the basis of column A. Fantastic. So we have numbers. Now I can get rid of this. So I've randomized all the numbers, and I have between 1 and 29. Let's see who is the number. Who is the lucky number? Between 1 and 29. The first winner is the number 6. So who is it? Tulsi, if you are there in the chat, please confirm to me. If you are there, please confirm that you are there in the chat. I know there will be a little bit of delay there between the time I select and Tulsi, are you there? I give you I give you 1 minute to confirm you are there. If not, I'll pick up this next number. Nishant is not there. Nishant is not there. I don't know why you're not there, Nishant. Tulsi is not marking the attendance. Nishant, I'll put your name here. Don't worry. I'll insert it. Oh, doesn't look like Tulsi is there. So let me pick up the next number now. I'll wait for another 16 seconds. Bad luck. You see, this is Tulsi. The next. Are you there? Please confirm on chat that you are there. Amit Jain. I'm not picking up the numbers, names now. Already time is done. We have got the latest. I'm checking if Amit Jain. I'm surprised. Okay, we have a new list. Amit Jain, yes, Amit Jain is the first winner. And now I've taken the new list just to avoid. So we have one winner already there. Amit Jain, please contact the backend team of Deccansoft and they will give you the access to the content. So now I have up to 34. So let me change this. 34. Generate 31. 31. Nishant. Wow. You participated late and came. Lucky fellow. Nishant, are you there? Confirm that you are there. Nishant. So these are the two lucky winners, Nishant and Amit Jain. Congratulations to both of you for getting access to the content, the exam dumps, the courseware, the lab exercise, and most important, free access to Azure portal for practice. Even that you are able to get it. So all of you who have not got the chance to win, we have a good surprise for you too. Nishant, I hope you are there. You participated late and you got lucky. Okay, so what about others? Now, just for this particular time, for 10 minutes more, this, paying just rupees 500, scan the code, pay 500 and send the screenshot to the details which are provided on the chat, and you will be given the same content, access to the same content. So you are going to get access to the videos, you're going to get access to the dumps, you're going to get access to a week's time for Azure portal for practicing. Will be given to the Azure portal so that you can practice. So yes, I am unfortunately supposed to get into another meeting, don't have much time, but I would request my team to post a link to WhatsApp group where they can where you can actually post your questions, and I will be glad to pick up from there and answer. And if needed, they'll share my number. You can connect with me at any time later. I hope this will lead you to a certification, and best of luck to all of you. Thank you and take care.